Yeah. Too bad the Madden games keep getting worse.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, man. Since I don't work for the company and I probably have no chance of going back, I think the most toxic game-based community is the Madden player.
Yeah.
I think the Madden player, people that play Madden, the video game, are some of the most toxic people online. That
Even worse than Call of Duty players.
Yeah, no, man. Call of Duty players wish they could have this level of toxicity.
Yeah, there's a lot of F words, the new F word, a lot of that, and a lot of the N word.
Let me show you what happened. So, at Rex Dickinson, God bless him, he left Madden. He's probably one of the greatest devs, personal, like a person that I look to in the video game industry that I had a lot of respect for, and the stuff he put up with. And people would go on Twitter and be like, "I hope your kid dies and gets cancer because
that's fucking
you did
ridiculous.
this game," or because that was the kind of Madden players you see now. Do I say every Madden player is that? No.
I think
but
any
I see
human,
enough concentrated on social media.
Any human that says stuff like that are just the lowest level vibrating, lowest thinking, just trash, toxic people.
Here's the thing. You think it'd just be one guy, but on Twitter, behind that keyboard, it would be millions of trolls. And I'm looking at this all day. And so after a while, like I can see, I'm a video game player, so I'm playing different stuff. I'm following different companies.
No matter how much you don't like something, that's not a reason to say or do violent things.
Especially you can't make it yourself.
Or
how about
how
about just don't buy it? How about just do something else and fuck off?
Do you know how many people I've said this to? Where like I did customer service for a while, and I would be on a phone call, and the guy would say, "I've spent $60 on a game. You should give me this." First of all, you spent $60. This game generated $19 million in week one.
Yeah.
If you never bought this game again, do you really think your $60 is going to make a difference?
I do think, of course, like with everything, there is a certain level of expectation and accountability that comes with game developers and publishers and whatnot.
There has been a long-standing problem where like games are just putting out less and less content and more DLC.
Yeah, it's a lot of the pay-for-play stuff is really, and a lot of that came from like, in my opinion, started from mobile games.
Yep.
Yeah. But
here's the thing.
The bang for your buck thing is, dude.
People. If it wasn't making money, nobody would have copied it. At the end of the day, mobile started this thing where, hey, if you don't want to wait, throw money at this.
Yeah.
And if you want to be the best player at this, throw money at this, and this thing's going to give you an advantage. Mobile players don't mind paying to play and to be the best.
Oh my God, I knew this guy in the Army. He spent like thousands of dollars on this fucking tank game he was playing. I was like, what are you doing?
Bro, I'm going to tell you, on Team Lift, we did an episode with a guy from Austin. He came on, we got his spending records for Madden 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. We did 5 years. I want to say we covered 5 years. We figured out what he spent. He told us, hey, this year I spent this is what I spent on this Ultimate Team. He broke the numbers down to us. He sent it to us before he came on the show. I then made a list of, here are all the things you could have got had you not spent this money in Madden Ultimate Team. It would have been the 2018 BMW 325i.
Jesus Christ.
Money he clearly didn't care about.
Automatic. I think he could have actually got the automatic, not fully loaded, but pretty damn loaded.
I don't understand. Like,
still a BMW got
yeah,
I think
32,000.
Something has happened where that addictive type, gambling type personality has gotten really bad. Like the flashy colors or winning, the little joy of winning. Like has the world gotten so dark and so depressing that people just need that?
Yes.
Like that's the only way they're getting that fucking serotonin. Yeah.
Bro, this guy,
that's so sad. Isn't it?
He was spending $8,000 to $10,000, $8,000 to $12,000 a year in just that version of Madden. Because next year we're going to start it over again in August.
What else was he doing with his life?
And so here's where it got crazy. He was spending all this money in the game, and we're talking to him about, so what were you ranked? Y'all, he was only ranking in the top 800 players in the world.
Jeez, that's nothing.
Top 800. He's not in the top 20. He wasn't in the top 100. Top 800 players. Okay, millions of players were playing Madden. Okay, we'll give you that. You're only in the top 800, and you spending $8,000 to $10,000 a year.
But what do you get out
just
of
to
that?
be? But that was his thing. That was what he wanted to do. He didn't have kids. He wasn't married. That was where he decided to spend his money. But then, when he comes to be talking about, man, I wish I could do this. And I'm sitting there going,
You had the money.
you really could.
Yeah.
And that was why we brought him on the show, and we did that with him. And it's like, because at the time he had a girlfriend, and she wanted to get married. She was really on her head to get married, and she wanted him to change his whole life, and he's going to move here, and he's going to go do this, and she wants this ring. And I'm just like, she can never hear this episode of the show.
Yeah, no.
Because he never gave her a ring, but I could tell you that he could have bought her all the diamonds.
Yeah.
All the diamonds.
That's so sad.
But $8,000 a year?
I think
yo,
that's
I'm
really
telling you,
sad.
he was dropping $8,000 a
You
year.
shouldn't even have a car note. You should be done paying your car off and shit. Have a house.
Bro, he could have did so many things, but it was where he chose to spend money.
You know,
and he wasn't the only guy I met
And
like that.
that kind of culture with gaming, though, is I used to be a very avid gamer. I play a lot. Now, I got Call of Duty Warzone. I'm not even a Call of Duty player like that, but I played the free one with my brother on Warzone or whatever.
Yep.
And so that's how me and him stay in touch now. We play like, a couple times a week. But outside of that, I was buying the annual WWE games, wrestling games.
Mm-hmm.
Nostalgia.
Those suck
Nostalgia.
so much.
2K, yeah.
Yeah, nostalgia. Yeah, I'd always get my nostalgia fix from that. But I would start skipping odd years because they would be bad.
Dude,
This last year was so
2020s?
terrible.
Oh my god.
Last year was terrible.
Broken,
glitches.
destroyed.
No,
Yeah.
it was so terrible.
It was
I like-
washed out.
But the thing is, where they took a whole year off, if the next one's bad, they're going to lose the license.
I'm going to tell you
100%.
something. So, started a year, I was at PAX South 2020 in January. I was on a podcast there, and they brought me in as a guest. And we talked about video games, and we were talking about representation in games. And since I had worked in the industry, I had insight, especially working at EA and having friends at independent studios, and they'd come on the podcast and talk to us. I had a lot of connections like that. So I just broke it down. I said, African Americans don't vote with their dollars. I said, you don't get represented if you don't vote with your dollars. So I said, let me break this number down to you. Right now, if every black person that bought 2K, NBA 2K, or bought Madden said, I'm not going to buy 2021. Every black person decides, I'm not going to spend that money on Madden or NBA 2K. That company is going to lose millions that year. Their stock will plummet. You don't understand how much power you have as black people when it comes to video games. So when you're playing the game, if you're not represented, and I give you a perfect example, The Sims is $1 million base. People from every culture, black, white, every race, every religion plays The Sims. It's a very popular game.
Yeah.
Black hairstyles was a mod you had to go get from somebody else because it wasn't represented in the game.
How hard to make an afro?
I remember that.
Yeah, no,
I remember reading an
you
article
couldn't
about that.
get black women's hair in this game. There was
Yeah.
a black woman who had a mod that was so popular that the Sims company, the Sims developers brought her in to talk to her. What are we doing wrong? Because that was their biggest thing with Sims 4 is that they really, how do we represent same-sex relationships? How do we do this? Need for Speed, when they were doing their newest Heat, that development team brought in people from Miami, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, blacks, whites, people in the racing culture. Hey, would he talk like this? Would he dress like this? How do we represent the culture right? What would be, signs on the car? Is it a gang thing? They were really trying to get it right and get this.
Yeah.
And the fact that they brought people in and worked that heavily to try to get people represented, I thought, hey, EA is really out here on the cutting edge. Now, they're not going to get a lot of credit for that, but they were out there on the cutting edge doing it. But
Because they drop Battlefront? I think that's why.
Oh, yeah. But I was there when we got the most downvoted post on Reddit. Oh, my God. Here's my thing. I am all for Ask Me Anything. I am.
Yeah.
But to me, this person that they had selected for this one was ill prepared. At least get somebody that's internet savvy and knows what a Reddit Ask Me Anything is. Go in there ready and say, hey, even if you don't have an answer, hey, that's a great thing. I would like to bring it up. How about you contact me here and let's look into that. That's something I think we need to look into. That's a great answer if you don't know. Don't say something, because it's so much easier to say, I don't know, than it is to say, I'm going to put this out here, and then we got to retract that later.
Yeah, don't bullshit if you don't know.
No one wants to look stupid. No one wants to be caught with the I don't know. That's the sad part about people is we need to normalize not knowing something and saying, I need to go look into it instead of just, I know it.
I literally did that the other day. I was talking to somebody like brought up something and I was like, you know what? Let me go look that up so I can be more informed.
I love saying that. That is my favorite thing. Here's why. 7 kids. 7 kids. I got hit with questions like, I don't even know where you thought that. Hold on. Let's go look into that. Let's go look it up. But no, it's crazy, man. But in the video game industry, it was such a weird thing. Is like I've told them, like if you're not represented, nobody's forcing you to go buy Madden. Nobody's forcing you to go buy 2K or FIFA every year. You are going in there. Nobody held a gun on you and said you're going to buy this copy or we're going to kill your mom. You willingly took the money that you worked for and went down there and bought that copy. That is on you. They owe you nothing.
I felt that, like I said, like with the wrestling games and shit, I felt the same way. Like that's why I would skip you. Like if they would bring like the previews up, and I would see like barely anything changed of substance. I'd be like, I'm not buying it this year. Like it's like it's the same game.
I used to skip every year Madden, and I would buy NCAA. I bought the college game almost every year. In 2003, I had it on the GameCube where you could put yourself in the game as a coach, and then you could even customize the signs and the stain. I was a hardcore college guy, and I would take the worst school I ever knew. Back in the day, it was Northeast Louisiana University. It's now LSU, Monroe. I took that team, and I made them a national championship team.
I love doing that.
I would always do that stuff, man. And it was just like, I'm going to win, and I'm going to put all these big teams on my schedule, so I'm going to have to play number 1 eventually, and they think I'm going to be a knockoff game, but I'm going to defeat them, and I'm going to jump to number 1. Like, I would purposely build schedules like that.
I used to do the same thing.
And I loved that game.
Super fun.
In Madden, it would just be like, oh, it's the Saints. I'm going to take my Saints, and I'm going to... I know we're going to lose here. I know I'm going to have 3 losses this year.
Like the Patriots are the greatest team in America.
Yeah.